Sometimes people ask the question, what's the point of learning something in school? Right? What's the point of learning something in school if you never use it? Blah, 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 blah. Right? And the reality is this: the point of learning something in school is that if you don't learn it in school, you're probably never going to learn it. You're probably never going to learn it. And this right here is an example. Now, when I turn to the next pages, you'll see what I mean. But based off of question one, you can tell my son doesn't know what war and peace means. He don't know what the word culture means. Now this is the standard fourth exam. This is the fourth grade exam. This is the exam for fourth graders, which are like 9 to 10 years old in Tanzania. Okay, so 9 to 10-year-olds understand the word custom, culture, peace, tradition. Look at the answers: norm, democracy, tradition, medium, currency. They understand these words, right? I'm about to teach my son this stuff, but why I'm showing you this is because you can see my son don't know what peace is. And the reason why he don't know this one is because this is the old social studies. Okay, Tanzania, y'all heard Chinwezu. Chinwezu tells you Japan, the first generation of Japanese used to teach everything in English. Then the second generation taught English and Japanese, and the third generation teach only in Japanese, right? So in Tanzania right now, they're transitioning to teaching in Swahili. Okay, so they used to teach social studies and history in English. Now they're teaching in history in Swahili. So my son does not. This is the old exam from he's trying to study for the Standard 4 exam. Long story, right? But he's trying to study for the Standard 4 exam. Basically, he never learned this. So he doesn't know about what peace is. He doesn't know what democracy is. He doesn't know what culture is. He doesn't know what, he knows what language is, but pretty much you can tell from this, right? And then this is, of course, another thing that he got wrong, obviously. And that's okay, because again, he doesn't learn this stuff. Okay, this is an old exam from like 3 years ago. And he doesn't need to know it. Now, check this out. This is where it gets funny, where it gets funky. So I'm trying to teach this boy. Right, like for instance, this is some questions. This is not the questions I was trying to show y'all, but he gets all of this right. I think. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? When did Tanganyika and Zanzibar unite? April 26, 1964. I don't know how he got this. I don't know. Maybe I don't think he looked it up, but whatever. Right? Type shit. Okay. Now here's where it gets complicated. He's not the type of looking up stuff. Here's where it gets complicated. This is the next exam. I want to show y'all. This is I'll just show y'all the year. 2009, right? September 2024. This is social studies, right? Look at this right here. And this is why I said, this is why when people ask you, what's the point of learning something? You're never going to use it, blah, 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 blah. The following were feudal systems which were practiced by the Tanzanian societies before colonials except Unwinyi, Ubugabire, primitive communism, Nyarubanja. Let's not just roll A. I don't know. I don't even know. I can't tell him it's wrong or right. I don't know. Right? And shout out to Anthony McPhail. I think Anthony McPhail is the only one I know who's going to be like, yeah, I know that one. but like the rest of us, I don't know, man. Societies of Uganda practice feudal systems called Mvujo and Busulu, which title was given to the landlords in these systems. Abatwazi, Bakopi, Bagubire, Bataka. Okay? And by the way, the landlords are the elites. You already know, right? Number 3, by which means can we build good relationships with our neighbors in the society we live? Now, this one I don't know. I mean, again, this one's English. I think he got it wrong. I mean, I don't blame him because these all seem like good things you could do. Doing various activities together, visiting them every day, living in the same house. I don't know about living in the same house, but I don't. Sometimes I be coming across questions that I be like, I don't know. But then this one right here got me. It's like in Tanzania, there are some societies which still practice some elements of communal life. Which among the following represent those communities? The Pare and Hadzabe, the Haya and Nyambo, the Hadzabe and Sandawe, the Hadzabe and Nyamwazi. And why I'm pointing this out, and you guys can check it out, is we don't know. Like if you don't, oh, look at that. He fought against the Germans in the invasion of Kalenga in Iringa. And it's like, which of these chiefs fought against the Germans? Like, I don't know. Oh, he's like, he led the Zigua people against the Germans in Tonga. I know where Tonga is. I don't know. I actually know where Iringa is too. I don't know which chief did that. But what's important is this, that if you are not taught you don't know. And I hope this demonstrates that. This is not just the importance of the importance of school, the importance of what we call primary education. Of course, hopefully, you guys look into the importance of. Oh, look, I'm looking at this right here. I'm looking at this. It says Tanganyika and Zanzibar got independence on the 9th of December, 1961. So I think my son was wrong earlier. Either way, what I'm saying is, yeah, if you don't learn, you don't learn. So when people come to you and they say, "What's the point of learning?" It's like, because if you don't learn, you're not going to learn. And maybe you might say, "Well, what's the point of knowing who led the fight against Tonga?" You can be pretty successful without knowing who led the fight against Tonga. That's true. Now, I want y'all to understand why you have primary education. Primary education is so that you can identify who would be good at tertiary education and which form of tertiary education. You understand? So there's going to be some students who get all these right. There's some students, like my son, I ain't going to hold y'all, who get all this wrong, right? And the student who gets it all right probably could do for rewriting the curriculum. You see what I'm saying? Could probably do something like advise the president. Could probably do something like study, wars and battles and really defend the border. You understand? And then, like for instance, I show you my paper, my son's results in mathematics, just like his father. He's good at math and science, I can show you those results and he's fire. And so you would probably steer him away from, border patrol, border security, right? Tactical, military advantage, where Ringa is and where Tonga is. And you might steer him towards, the production of weaponry. But there's gonna be some students who do none of that stuff, and you might just hand them the broom. All right. But my point being, right, that if you don't learn it, you don't learn it. And yeah, that's probably that, because right now I'm big age. I'm big age, and I don't know some of these. I don't know some of these, and that's what it is. And I think that's pretty important. That's pretty critical because, we always hear that question, but it's only when you get out of your comfort zone, when you get out of your international, when you go international, that you realize, oh, I see the value in this. Sometimes they say don't break down a fence unless you know why it was put up, right? This is why the fence was put up, because you won't know this. He led several southern Tanganyikan societies to fight in the Maji Maji War. I mean, I heard of the Maji Maji War. Shit. All right, then.